So these plates right here looked very unique. It wasn't a normal pattern. And when I flipped one of them over, it was very obvious someone already looked at the back, looked at what was written on it, or just didn't want to mess anymore and left them. Hey, it's Don. Today the wife and I were out. We were just screwing around. We weren't planning on like sourcing. We do love to go to thrift stores because you never know what you're going to find. There's one that we go to around here that's more of a high-end, and it's basically all for charity. And this thrift store usually has some more expensive items. The prices are almost always higher than everywhere else in town on many of the things. Not all of them. Some of them are dirt cheap, like what I'll show you in just a minute here. But those are the types of places that we like to hit. The money goes to a good cause. It stays local as well, too. There's a couple other ones that we go to and that we stopped at today as well. So these plates right here looked very unique. It wasn't a normal pattern. And when I flipped one of them over, it was very obvious someone already looked at the back, looked at what was written on it, or just didn't want to mess anymore and left them. I'll show you the price on these in just a few minutes here, but I also found this awesome Tiki mug here. Very, very heavy. It looks totally handmade, every aspect, the signature, everything. $3 on that. Now these are the plates. You can see them right here. Now they looked much different than anything that I saw before. They had a unique design to them that just didn't spring out that they were cheap to me. So I did flip one over and look at it. Now, the label was partially pulled off, so it tells me without a doubt somebody else looked at them, and they decided that by the way it was written on the back, this gold, this gilt, that it probably wasn't worth anything is my guess. Because if they would have spent just a moment to look this up, they would have realized that these can go for $50, bare bones minimum, plus shipping, $15, $20 in shipping, all the way up to $130 plus shipping. Someone has one of these up for $250 right now, just one of these. They're discontinued. They all have watchers. The only 3 other ones of these that are up. So if I wanted to get these sold really quickly, I could just throw up these plates for $75 a pop and probably have them all sold extremely fast, just because they would be cheaper than everybody else on there. I only have $2 into them. I have $16 into all 8 of these. Again, these should easily get me, after fees, after everything's said and done, at least $60 to say $100 plus. If I want to hang on to these for a little while, I could actually get the 100 mark a piece for these. That would be $800 in retail price if that's what I sell them for. Again, $75. I'm still going to make $500 off of this random, unknown purchase. People could have purchased this before me. Who knows how long it was in the store. Now here's that Tiki mug again, the same exact place, this expensive charity place. It's signed, and that's the key to this one here. It's extremely heavy, probably close to 2 pounds. You can see the unique Polynesian style look to the sides of it. It's definitely a Tiki. Definitely an awesome mug. Now, things like this, some of these sorts, signed by the right person, can go for $500, $800, $900, I think is the top end I've seen some of these go for. Who knows on this one? I'm not going to let it go for less than $75. If it wasn't worth anything, I'm happy keeping it. One of the kids already asked for it if we're not going to do anything with it. So these things are incredibly good sellers. I wouldn't be surprised if this wouldn't go for at least, say, $100, $125, just because of the sheer weight design and that it's completely hand done. You can see where they even missed a few spots with the glaze. It's just a really nice piece. I do love Tiki stuff. We have a few of our own that we've kept here around the house for forever, honestly. So we're just in Terapeak, and this is the Verdures Renaud plate. And in here you can see the exact same plate. These are solds. These aren't some random ones here. But so this is the exact same plate, same size, same everything. $120 for this one here. So I shouldn't have any problem. It has all the same markings, everything you need to know. It's the original, real deal. These are good plates, good items, undamaged. Mine's NOS, very obviously by the looks of it. And just looking through here, you can see here's another one. This one sold for $89, and I think there was one more in here. if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, here's one more somebody blew out for $50 plus shipping on this one. So the low end's $50, high end's $120. Now, these are the live ones here. There are a couple that are up right now. Here's one where someone has the exact same plate. They're asking $94 plus free shipping, and they have 4 watchers. Here's another one, $248 for this exact same plate. They've got discontinued. They have France. They have 4 watchers as well. And then one more one down here for $130, 4 watchers plus shipping on this one too. That's luck though. I can't guarantee I'd ever run into this sort of thing again, but I do investigate things when they look like that. Now, here is another thrift store. Now, I went to the ones that were for charity specifically. These are smaller ones. Now, this is a giant tile, like a ceramic tile. This thing is massive. It's heavy. I was tempted to buy it, but it's pretty new. Probably isn't worth a ton of money. I might have been able to get $20 for it maybe, but it just wasn't worth my time with that. Plus, shipping's heavy if it breaks and all that kind of stuff. Now, these, I've found quite a few of these locally lately. They're cookie presses or cookie molds, so to speak. The price isn't bad, but they're just not super, super huge movers. They're probably around 40 or 50 years old, maybe even a little older than that. Nice pieces, but just not something I want to mess with today. Now, there's a Ski Blue Mountain skiing sign here of some sort, and it's signed all over the back. This was a rather interesting piece in my book. Just for a sheer piece to go on the wall, it would have been nice, but shipping it, I didn't want to mess with. Weighs about 10 pounds or better. But if I had a local shop, this would have been something that would have been pretty darn good. Probably would have been able to get $50 for it or so. Yeah, and it is signed by other people from whatever this establishment was. So it's rather interesting. It wasn't super expensive. Well worth the money. But again, I don't want to have to ship something like that. It's real wood. It looks very well done. Sometimes paint by numbers are okay. Now, this other one of the fish is a signed one original as well of some sorts. But it's not anything fancy. It's like a palette knife art. Some more modern day stuff here. Nothing, again, super, super spectacular. I always check this section out because you never know what you're going to find. A lot of times there'll be stuff just like stuffed on a shelf, and that's where some of the bucks can be. Tiles and things like that I always check out, like this one. Way too new, nothing really spectacular either. Now, I do love these little tiny... Now, these are Sebastian miniatures is what they're called. And this is an advertising piece for them at $1.50. Both of them look like they're in excellent condition. Some silver plate as well. Just not worth much at all, really. Now, I always find some sort of songbooks out there, and this is from the movie The Piano. It's the whole songs for the piano here on it. It's not worth a fortune. I actually left that. It's like a $10 or $15 piece, and it just wasn't worth the hassle in my book. There was a bunch of them. I had some competition and all. Now, this Who one has a flexi disc record inside. That one I did nab up. That's like a $20 piece or better for a couple bucks. So there was some good things in the book section. Here's another item. This is a inauguration of this exact ship here. Now, these are the Sebastian miniatures, and this one here is an advertising piece that would have sat on a display shelf showing and describing what you're looking at. This would have been the centerpiece meant to only display the items. So these aren't as common as a mass-produced piece like this one here. And this one's by a very well-known painter, Sir Loupe Fildes, I think. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but these are by a company, the marking at least says P.W. Baston, B-A-S-T-O-N. They date from mid-30s or so, all the way up to the 70s and 80s. This one here, by the location, it's Hudson. By the location means this is mid-70s or newer. What you want is Marblehead, and there's even an earlier town that this company was in. But in just a second here, I'm going to show you why I know this name. There's something about this company that everybody needs to know about, because their items in some cases can sell up to $1,000 if you find the right one. These are fabulous. Paid $1.50 a piece for each one of these. This one here should give me about $25. The other one, $25, $30 as well. So all told, those are things that I always look for. I like miniatures. I like anything that's small like that. I'm not big on pottery, but these items I just showed you today are quick, easy sellers. That's a different story. If I can sell it, it's not going to sit around. it's gone. We're going to buy it, nab it up, and off we go. If that's the only thing there to at least make a profit, that's fine. Now, I don't do this type of sourcing usually for a profit just because I'm not big on pottery, ceramics, and most of the thrift stores around here are awful. But if you're patient, you go to the right ones, you dig around a little bit, you can find a few things locally even, but it's just not what it used to be, obviously. Now, here's just an example of some of the Sebastian miniatures, and you can see the prices up here. The top one on this day is $675. Now, I'm just looking in collectibles. There are other sections like pottery that these would be found in, too. I'm just giving you one example. You can look them up across the whole site and come up with some other ones that sell for some pretty good money. Now, the only reason I know the name Sebastian Miniatures is because of these. These are Jell-O gelatin advertising pieces. I think you had to send in box tops, or they were available for sale at the grocery store or something back in the day. I want to say, though, that most of these were mail away of some sorts. I've run into probably a half a dozen different ones of these. I've pulled up just a few. The whale has always been my favorite. Jell-O, a whale of a dessert. So it's very obvious these are all actual advertising pieces. This is the most famous one that this company is known for. That's the one I always look for. I know pretty much all the major designs. You can tell too by the coloring, the paint jobs on them. They have the same similar paint coloring scheme as any of the other ones, including the ones I just showed you. So this is, again, another Jell-O brand one here. Everybody reaches for Jell-O. Here's another one with a line. It's a whole zoo menagerie is basics of what this is. There might be a dozen of them as far as I know, but I've at least seen 6 of these. I've seen a few different versions of this one here. Now's the time for Jell-O. This person's looking in their budget book. Jell-O was cheap. It was an advertising ploy. Now, this is how the originals would have been marked as well. They would have had a felt bottom, and then you would have seen this little sticker on it as well. Now, I've sold just that sticker for a few bucks, 10 or 15 in the past as well. So just that sticker can go for some decent money also. And here's one last one, which is one of my favorites. They did a Christmas tie-in special. I believe this is from 1955, if I'm not mistaken, and it's Santa Claus. Yeah, 55. It does say that on the back. Now, there's a box for most all of these, and it's just a brown box with printing on it, which says Sebastian. It says the model, which would be the Santa Claus. Again, all advertising pieces. You can see that he actually has Jell-O on the table. There's a chunk out of it, and he's got some red in his beard. A child fell asleep underneath the table. It's a cute piece. It's an excellent advertising piece. This is on the cheap end. If you sold this during Christmas time, it would probably go for about $75 to $100. You list it in Christmas section instead of advertising like this one, and you'd probably have a better chance on selling it for a little more, at least in season. So this is why you should know Sebastian Miniatures. Well, anyway, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
Super GoBots, the mightiest GoBots of all. Stacks, Leader, One, and Psykill sold separately.
Think you're big enough for the king of the road? Try me.
Mighty robots, mighty vehicles, robots.
Too big, Stacks. Not so fast, Psykill. Thanks, good buddy.
Super GoBots, Stacks, Leader, One, and Psykill each sold separately from Tonka.